tonight's the night. And it's gonna happen again and again. Has to happen. It's a nice night. Tonight, I talk about outdated television from over 10 years ago. Welcome back to Half a Clue Television Review. Today, we're talking about the revered Season 4 of Dexter. Sorry, I'm kind of a weirdo. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, I'm Blake. I'm joined by Jason.
Ron, hi.
Jason.
That was weird because you said Jason.
I'm
and
actually Jason.
Yeah, you gestured towards me. I was like, am I supposed to respond?
Joined by Ronald.
Hi, hello.
That's actually
Mi amo Ramo.
And,
Yeah, Ramo.
Blake.
That's my Spanish name.
Yeah, I guess I'm Blake today. Is this Halloween? Or are we all just going as each other
Halloween's
right
in
now?
a couple of weeks, you idiot.
Whatever. It's still like middle of
I'm
October.
noticing on Amazon like the top 10 things selling are like Squid Game costumes. And it's like
Yeah,
Squidward
my,
games.
actually, I had a guy at work, and we've got a 3D printer at work, so he brought in some filament, and he printed out Squid Game masks over like the last 3 days.
Nice. I'm
Yeah.
sure that took
Those are
like
just-
6 years to print out.
No, one of them took, I think it took 26 hours to print.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
so he like started it one
This is
morning,
on
and we
company
came back.
resources.
Well, the 3D printer we're able to use however we want,
I'm
but
reporting you.
You think your
he's-
boss listens to this?
he wouldn't care and probably wouldn't be able to figure out how to find it.
I'm reporting you.
But yeah, no, as long as you bring in your own filament, they don't care if we use the 3D printer. So
Nice.
I really wanted to be a Roman gladiator for Halloween, and then I started looking at prices for costumes, and I was like, never mind.
yeah.
I
Why
was
don't
like,
you be Marvin the Martian?
you know, that's not bad, honestly. But
It's like the
they
same thing.
yeah, they wear the same outfit. I just paint myself green, add antennas.
The cheapest
Yeah.
costume I ever had was Odesu from Old Boy. Because all you have to do is spike your hair and wear a suit.
Have an octopus
Yeah,
coming out of your mouth.
and just a little hammer. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go as Zelda for Halloween.
Zelda?
Zelda.
Really?
Zelda. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Zelda
Yeah.
or Link?
You have the hair.
But Zelda
Yeah.
from which era of Link? Is it?
I'm
like,
gonna
is
go
it
as
from-
Zelda from like the Wand Gamelon era. You know,
Oh,
the CDI
my-
games. Yeah,
Oh no!
Why?
yeah.
Okay.
Come on,
Be
CDI
Twilight
Zelda.
Princess Zelda.
You know, but if you want to be real cute, you could do the Zelda either Wind Waker or Zelda.
hmm
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword. She was
Yeah.
was like really young there.
Halloween is approaching, you guys.
Yeah.
What are your Halloween costumes gonna be? Let us know. Like, subscribe, comment.
You sound like you're a used car salesman, like recording a commercial right now. Come on down to Ron's Emporium.
Welcome to Half a Clue TV Review.
Come on
Here,
down to Ron's Emporium for your
Let us-
car today.
Let us know what your costumes are going to be down in the comment below. Best costume may win a prize.
Is the prize is just going to be me giving them a phone call and talking to them about Dexter or Lost for 8 hours?
Yeah, they don't get a word in. They're just gonna be ranting at them. Well, just season 4
I can
is
tell
the
you from
greatest.
I don't think that's
experience,
a prize.
that's a
I think
nightmare.
that's more torture.
God,
Yeah.
I really hope a Lost revival happens so we can do this.
Fuck.
Lost.
No.
Oh,
No.
no.
No,
David
no, no, no.
Lindelof like swore off that show. Yeah. Okay, so Dexter's season 4. It's widely regarded as at least one of the better Clyde Phillips seasons. Some people's favorite seasons.
Most
one
people's
thing,
favorite seasons.
yeah. And one thing that people can all agree upon is John Lithgow is fantastic as Arthur Mitchell.
He's okay.
Stupid fun. Yeah.
That's his call.
Say it, you pussy.
Shut up, cunt. He's
Arthur,
he's
I am
so
so thankful for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Dude, he has even like not the best dialogue. He delivers it in such a way that it just makes it great dialogue. It's
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, he's one of my favorite. But we'll get into it in a bit. But
I think that's also because they build him up so well. It's like, he puts off this facade of being like this God-fearing, community involved person.
He is God-fearing, to be fair.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a huge part of his character, is that he's like got this like twisted religious belief.
It's what makes the
By the
final
way, Dexter
episode.
writers, you're usually calling out one thing instead of another, but in this case, we're calling out the same show. Hey, Dexter writers, this is how you do the religious serial killer, unlike how you do it later on.
yeah,
It's one of the things that makes
Well, there's-
the
yeah.
final episode so frustrating is his religious beliefs, because it's like you want him to suffer and to like
Makes us going
be
to
scared.
heaven.
Yeah, and he's just like, it's fine. And it's like, God,
Well, I like that it's. We'll get into it when we talk about the last episode, but I do
Yeah.
actually really like the whole religious aspect of Trinity. I don't think Trinity is a very realistic character in like terms of like actual serial killers, but the religious belief thing kind of is. Like that is how a lot of them like justify their shit.
It's a mixed bag. He's like partially pretty realistic,
And partially
at least.
ridiculous.
Yeah, partially like totally ridiculous, but
Just like the show, you know.
I
what
think
mean?
we and Ron are the weirdo serial killer experts on this panel, I guess.
Well, I mean, like son of Sam. Well, it turned out to be fake, but the whole thing was that like, and he was saying the devil made me kill all this, all my
Yeah,
victims
he
and
was
stuff
just
like
doing
that.
that for.
yeah, he was
Well, yeah,
bullshitting
it's like the same
publicity.
thing as like Richard Ramirez. That was all like just like him saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say.
I don't know. I feel like Richard Ramirez.
He was actually a
Actually-
Satanist.
Yeah, I
right?
think he actually believed that he was like being powered by Satan. He totally thought he was going to hell. He totally thought that he was an agent of like the devil and stuff. Like I think he really was
Sorry.
like just that bad shit. But also he wanted to add to his mythos as much as possible and make people think that he was like creepier and
Anyways, I don't
scarier.
think we're here to talk about actual serial killers.
And I think that Trinity's motivations did work pretty well because he was kind of like doing all the things he was doing in his normal life as an act of penitence a little bit. And Dexter really thought it was just a cover, him being this guy who is a really nice person involved in the community. But after you see the facade start to crumble with his family, you realize, oh, no, he's just doing all this stuff to basically make himself feel like a good person so that he can justify the acts of evil that he does.
Well, it's not just
Yeah.
that. It's
I think
that-
he actually wants to be a good person.
Yeah, Trinity
but he
is,
can't.
as Dexter says, he's a very special monster. Trinity is like one of the only major player villains that has like a sense of like reluctance to him. Like, the Ice Truck Killer in season 1, like he's like, I think he kind of sees himself as an artist. The Skinner is obviously it's more of like a money kind of motivation, but definitely no remorse. Trinity is very like, he doesn't like what he is. Like, of course in the first episode, there's like, he's burning himself in the shower or just, he
He goes and gets his ass beat.
yeah, he
like-
goes and gets his ass beat. Like he's a very like he's naturally kind of a sadist, but he doesn't like it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He kind of hates who he is.
Which is also fairly common with killers. I mean, like Jeffrey Dahmer would get himself blackout drunk every time before he killed somebody because he
Couldn't do it otherwise.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. Like, obviously it's no excuse either way. They're still pieces of shit. But like he felt that he felt bad about what he did. Even people like Ed Gein and stuff. Again, they were but then the difference between a lot of those is they were product killers. And that's where the show falls into. The not so realistic aspect of it is that he was a process and a product killer.
Yeah.
Like it was just like well, for the most part, he was like
TBK
process.
was a process killer, right? The torture, bind, kill, dude.
BTK.
Yeah,
Or was it BTK?
Yeah.
Bind,
Yeah.
torture, kill.
Yeah.
Bind,
he
torture,
was
kill.
definitely process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he had
And
this whole thing.
they took a lot of inspiration from him for Trinity.
Do they really though?
Not so much his kills, but like the way he
the
like
process and stuff, and
well,
also
the way
like-
he like hid in plain sight. He was a
yeah,
Christian
he had a
man,
family.
and-
Yeah,
bind, torture, kill. Like he was like he got away for like what almost like 2 decades.
He's the one who
Yeah.
I'm just
No,
goofing
no.
around.
He-
No, I
I
would
was
say,
just
like,
goofing around.
it was like almost 3 decades. It was about
Yeah.
as long as Trinity, honestly.
BTK is
That's-
the one who got caught because of a floppy drive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's a little, I don't know. I don't see a huge resemblance. Maybe just in like the hiding in plain sight.
The
but-
biggest one
that-
is
that
I
was
feel
the big
like
thing.
he's a mix of like John Wayne Gacy with like
BTK.
with BTK because like the difference is BTK apparently he was actually a pretty good father, which is fucked up to say, but like his kids apparently had nothing bad to say about him. They're like he was like a loving, like a pretty nice dad and everything. But like people like was it
John
Gacy?
Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, they were like like abusive and like really crazy. Like like his relationship, his marriage was like falling apart because he was just psycho. But like he also wasn't that great at hiding it.
This just makes me sad that because like the whole BTK thing, Mindhunters.
Yeah.
May or may not
Uh,
see it now.
It
Yeah.
probably
Most like-
won't.
Yeah,
I
probably
know.
never see it.
Sucks.
Watch Mindhunter.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
actually
good
Fucking
show.
great.
amazing
It's a great
fucking
show.
show.
We should still talk about it someday.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
dude!
down.
I'd love to talk about Mindhunter.
Eventually, I do think there's gonna be some type of season 3 to wrap it all up.
I
like,
think
down
that
the
I
line.
do think eventually something will happen. I just hope David Fincher's still involved.
Dude, they
No,
could
he
do a
is.
time jump
They're
because
not-
they don't
yeah.
catch BTK till what?
Yeah.
the
Like
90s.
90s.
Well, his
Yeah.
original
unless
plan.
they do, unless they do like historical fiction, which they might. which I'm okay with.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't think so. 'Cause
I-
the show's been pretty accurate, and they're all based on real. Even the detectives are based on
Yeah.
loosely based on the real people that came with the term. Of,
Holden.
They try to be as realistic as possible.
Oh, that's got a great season 1 finale.
Yeah.
But we're not talking
fun.
about Mindhunter.
yes.
We got
We're
really
here to
off
talk
track.
about Dexter.
Oh yeah. Oh. All right. So overall, what do you guys think of the season?
It's aight.
I love it.
I'm just kidding. It's good.
I stand by it. I think this is the best season of Dexter.
I think it has one of the best plots, but I think it, and obviously John Lithgow is fucking fantastic. I think he really carries this season.
Yeah. I agree.
Michael C.
but
Hall
it
does a
does-
really
it does
good job,
have-
too.
I have some issues with it. I was bored by a lot of the side stuff.
Yes.
I said a couple
Um,
seasons ago, this is one of the seasons with like the side plots just go crazy this season.
Yes,
Yeah.
they go fine.
I cannot tell you how much I do not give a shit about Angel and LaGuerta.
Yes,
Yeah.
Let's get into that, dude. How do you just continually increase how boring and fucked
Batista
up
is.
and lame his side plots are?
Batista got like the short end of the stick for this entire series. He just gets really boring side plots.
And
will
I
say-
like him
So
a
straight
lot.
up, I,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was LaGuerta when I first watched, and there was a scene with Batista and her in the hotel room or wherever that
Wait, you
was.
couldn't tell that was LaGuerta?
I didn't
They
know
showed
that
her
was-
face.
They show her first.
She has a very distinct face.
They show
Yeah.
her first.
No, but I couldn't tell that it was LaGuerta for some reason. I thought that Batista had just picked up another hooker.
Like a little-
I wasn't expecting it so much that I just
she even when
figured it
she
was just
talks,
some hooker.
like you couldn't tell that's LaGuerta.
The scene opens
No,
with her going,
okay.
I'm LaGuerta and I'm having an affair with Batista.
We're roasting on Miles'
No, but
inability
straight
to.
up, I can't make out faces. I'm like face blind.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, what's that one disease where you can't, like, you literally can't recognize people's faces? That's
it's called the Miles.
Yeah, the
disease.
Miles disease.
Season 4 of Arrested Development, one of the guys has that, and it's hilarious.
I think
I was
heard about that.
disappointed that there wasn't a scene where he's eating lunch with LaGuerta and only has one double meat, showing that he's progressing as a character.
It's like in the way they dropped his season 3 romantic subplot was just
Okay,
so
I agree.
lame.
What happened
I
to her?
think it would have
Oh,
been
she's gone.
better if it
Oh, you're talking about the Vice woman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if maybe he started and he was still with her, and then LaGuerta's like getting lonely or something and starts flirting with him.
Yeah, we
That
didn't
would've
get
been
to
lightly
see
better.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if maybe we saw them progress to this
Yeah.
point, but really it's just like we're fucking now,
I
and now we're
do
married.
think
We
it
Like,
makes
spent all
sense.
of last season with her, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they just dropped her.
I'll get used to a lot of that.
I was
by
saying,
the way.
it makes sense, but they're gonna do it. They should have done this earlier without the Vice. There's a lot of things. Okay, let's get into the romance of Dexter before we get to the good stuff. So, like the fucking subplots, right? Like if they just had a plan.
They
and
can't
actually
write
planned-
characters.
I wanna
It's
bring
just
up
like
something about the subplots that might have fixed the subplots. And
Well, that's what I want to
Yeah.
get. Okay, you go first, Miles. So
okay, so
tell us your how to fix Dexter.
I've talked to Philip about this a little bit before. I think if we moved season 4 before season 3, like in the order of the seasons, then it would have fixed so many things, because then
Yes.
Lundy wouldn't have had to leave. He could have just retired at the episode of season, or at the end of season 2. And then he picks up this Trinity Killer guy again,
And now
and
he's
that's what
back.
causes the conflict between him and Deb, because he's like obsessed with this serial killer guy, and she doesn't think that it's healthy for him.
yes.
And you do it like that, and then you don't have to deal with the whole Anton thing because he hasn't even been introduced yet.
yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
he really just
Mhm.
went away.
I know. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
And then it also makes it stronger for Batista and LaGuerta to get together, because she just lost her partner, so she's looking for another person. And basically, Batista has taken over Dokes' role in the department, so it would make sense for her to emotionally kind of start to connect to him, and that would have made that subplot better. And then you have I can never remember his name, the new cop that they
Quinn.
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 Don't
Yeah.
you dare disrespect
No,
my favorite character.
And then Quinn's subplot in season 3 would have made more sense, because guess what? He actually did get Lundy killed in this season. So having basically that internal affairs girl go after him and be like, yeah, this guy couldn't even realize that this lady was, the killer's daughter, is what got Lundy killed, and it's his fault that Lundy died, and that's why she's investigating him. And it just makes everything make more sense in both seasons, I feel.
I
See, all of that is great, Mom, but there's one flaw with that.
What?
The series, you need to have a plan, and this show did not.
Well,
Yeah,
I will say
fucking
this season was one of the best planned out seasons.
Oh,
I'll say.
definitely.
All the different threads kind of come back together. I mean, of course, there's the dumb subplot stuff with like LaGuerta and Batista.
That makes up like
doesn't-
more than almost half the season. It's like a lot.
Yeah, it does make up a lot, and that's definitely the biggest weakness of this season. But I feel like overall, it's pretty damn strong. Like a lot of the stuff that that they seed in the opening or the beginning of the season gets paid off in the end. Even just like I don't know. I'm trying to circle back to this, but like there's a lot of stuff that comes back around. Even Christine Hill, who is really annoying at first, and you kind of just like I don't know, she's kind of just there, and
They
you're just like,
disguise her as a dumb subplot.
yeah, and it's like, why is she here? Yeah, you just think that she's a Quinn dumb subplot, but she actually pays off, and I think her character is actually pretty interesting at the end. Like it's like I don't think they need to spell out as much how she's like a lot like Deb. It's like the audience just figures that out. Like, oh, I get it. Like
She's a
she
Deb
just
parallel.
yeah, she's the Deb's like dark double, right? That's who
Daddy
she is.
issues,
Yeah.
trying to live up to him.
But they like spell it out like 3
I,
times.
yeah,
we're like similar
I
to
like
you
how
and
they
me.
sneak that in too. You're like, oh, this is a Quinn thing. Oh, no, it's a Deb thing. Disguised as a Quinn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that reveal. Like, I was episode.
Hi, Daddy.
It was episode 9, Hungry Man at the end, where what's it called? It was literally after the Thanksgiving dinner,
Yeah.
and then Arthur opens the door. I mean, I liked the plot reveal on paper, but the way they revealed it was just like it was so bland the way they shot it.
So
Hi, Dad.
actually, I kind of enjoyed it because, like, I don't know when it was, but earlier in that episode, they had been dropping a couple hints
Yeah,
that
they
this
did.
Christine lady wasn't really like up and up,
Yeah,
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, was she involved? Did she have something to do with Deb?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
no,
call,
I'm-
I
yeah.
called it.
yeah.
I
Like,
said,
it
I said
worked
she's
really well.
about the same height as Masuka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like
And-
the plot reveal, I think went really well.
No, I think
Well, the
I-
shooting
Yeah.
reveal was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I think the
I'm talking about like the actual like how they
when we
shot
find
it,
out that she was his dad
It
or
was like-
daughter,
Yeah,
very low
rushed
subpar.
and like,
Yeah.
Subpar shooting, subpar cinematography. I don't know, like I don't know how they just thought it was shot. I don't know if they're just rushing it at the end of the day. It's like we just got to get the shots out before and then put it in editing bay. But I felt I felt like very little impact. I felt more impact because of the plot, but not because of like how it
it's-
was like
Yeah,
presented.
you definitely feel the impact of the plot. I feel though, like when you do see her, it's like a oh what like kind of moment. Yeah,
But
how
it
they
would've been
shot
so
it
much
themselves.
better was
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
it's not
one of
just
those
a simple
moments
shot
where
reverse
everything's
shot.
falling into
Yeah.
place.
Well, they do one. I feel like probably the best in terms of just visual storytelling moment, which is the episode after Christine shoots herself in front of Deb, and she calls Dexter, and Dexter's like at the arcade, and he's just like frantic, and it's like Dexter's most frantic, where he's just trying to
Yeah, I think
figure
that
out
was
where the
awesome.
hell Trinity is and everything.
That's actually probably might be my favorite sequence.
Yeah,
Right,
and then it's like it shows him, she's like, I need you here, right? And then it flips to a left side profile of Dexter, and he's like, who am I? Am I the brother? And then it shoots to the right side, and then it's like, or serial killer. And then he exits left, heading back towards Deb. I'm like, oh, that was great visual storytelling.
Yeah.
Or even in the end
was-
when he's like trying to plant the what's it called, the DNA, and
Oh,
he's
with the mirrors.
the
That's
mirrors
great,
all
yeah.
breaking there. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
also
that-
really good.
And
That's
Harry,
probably
cool.
my favorite shot of the
Cool.
And Harry's like, which one of are you? And he's like, all of them.
Wait, who?
Yeah.
The episode. What was the episode again? That
The
was-
one where he's looking himself
Is
in
it-
the mirrors. I want to say it's 11.
I think it's
No, but the episode we were talking about with the Hey
It's
Exes
11.
left.
Oh, he exits left.
Is it Lost Boys?
that's 11, I think.
I wanna say 11
That's
too.
11, right?
Yeah, that's
Hello,
like-
Dexter Morgan.
Yeah.
Let's brief shout
That's
out
when
to-
Christine commits suicide. So yeah, that one.
Brief shout out to S.J. Clarkson who did that because he's directed some of my favorite episodes before, like some finales and stuff like that. He's done a pretty good job with shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like that's another thing with I guess I'm like kind of it's like the inconsistencies with like whether it's visual storytelling and directing is because it happens when you have so many different directors at the helm.
Mhm.
And I understand that with television,
It's harder to
like do that unless you have what's it called? I mean, like Squid Game, like which we'll talk about soon.
Squidward Games.
The director wrote and directed every single episode and also produced it and the set design and all this stuff. And he lost 6 teeth while making the show.
Jesus.
He, like,
Yeah.
How?
6 teeth.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess he was just like gnawing and just like scraping at the back of his teeth. He just said he from stress or whatever.
Or like something
Yeah,
not
you know,
not as intricate, but like in Stranger Things, like the showrunners direct quite a few of the
Yeah, the Duffer
episodes.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always do
Or
like
Well, Kerry
you
George
watched-
Fukunaga did all of
Mr.
True
Robot.
Detective.
Sam
Does
does
Mel?
he direct most
He
of
directs
those?
most of it.
Yeah.
After
Oh,
season
you're
2 and
right,
on, he
you're
directs
right.
every single episode.
Oh,
yeah,
we gotta
yeah.
talk about Mr. Robot.
So
I
it's
mean,
like-
True Detective. Yeah, talking about season 1.
Great.
Cord.
The only one where it has
Fukunaga.
one director the entire time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you see it's like it's a vision. It's someone's
Yeah.
vision through and through,
It's
which is
noon.
great.
And
That's
this
the
one, and you
I
could
start drinking at noon.
you could do multiple directors, but all your directors have to be on the
asking the
same.
right fucking questions.
They have to be on the same visual
good ending
wavelength
to that
and also same like
Yeah.
visual talent. Like I think who directed fucking The Hungry Man? Fuck this guy.
Hungry Man.
What's it called? John Dahl. Fuck you. It's just like I don't know how in your right mind. Maybe okay. You know what? It might meet in person. He might be like, I just had no time and whatever the
Yeah,
shot.
you don't know. The
Yeah, but
circumstances.
still, fuck you. But it's
Well,
it
then
was like
fuck
you really fucked with like a pretty big reveal, and it's supposed to be an impactful moment. And also, but you know, good to S.J. Clarkson.
But
And
if
even
you
Steve
look at-
Schill,
look at
who did the
rest of that
final
episode,
episode.
though. If you look at the rest of the episode, for The
I
Hungry
think the
Man,
rest
it
of the
was a
episode,
great
the writing.
episode.
No, I think the writing was that's some of the best writing.
Yeah.
But visually, it's like mostly shot, reverse shot. Nothing super intricate with the cinematography. It's very bland. The lighting is super flat, like a lot of white backgrounds. It's just not compelling to look at all. Actually, the whole season overall. But
No,
but then
that one's
as-
just the plot driven episode.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
plot driven episode. And but there's still ways you could shoot it in a way.
Of course.
With like I said, there's like thousands, like hundreds of years of like cinematography that you can't just pull from. But whatever. But and then that frustrated me because it was like my
so-
favorite writing, but my least favorite visuals.
So the thing is, I think that you could make the argument that the reason why it was shot the way that it was
Because they're
Was-
lazy and they're bad.
was to portray the fact that, oh, this is supposed to be a normal Thanksgiving family dinner, trying to like calm everything
See,
down.
but
As
see,
much
no,
as
no,
I
no,
love
goes
this
down,
show, I
it
don't think
adds to
that
that
much.
No,
No,
no, see,
I don't
you
think they
could
would.
you could still do that, but just simple things of like who's in the foreground, who's in the background, where they're placed in the frame, like you know, rule of thirds, all that basic shit.
blocking.
And yeah, blocking. Like you could have like that could have made it compelling. They don't do any of that. It's like the most basic shit ever.
Yeah,
but
it's not a well shot episode. But
yeah, it's okay.
yeah.
Wait, let's.
It's
okay,
still a good episode.
It's-
yeah,
yeah,
I would
it's a
still
great,
argue
the
it's
it's
a
plot
great
makes
written
it
episode.
episode.
I'm saying visually, it falls on like it's the
It's-
most basic thing ever.
Yeah, it's very tense. Like even the moment when they're like watching football together,
Yeah.
and he like high fives, like yeah,
Yeah,
all
and
right.
That's, I think
And
that's
he
also more because of the writing, or not even writing. John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I've loved this guy since. Have you guys seen the Brian De Palma film Blowout by any chance?
No,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's good in it.
Yeah, but he also plays a like government tool who ends up being a serial killer, and you know what's it called? By the way, he still looks the same somehow. Like he still looks like he
looked
looks
about
50.
Yeah, he's looked about 60
For a long
30
time.
years.
Even in
yeah.
Interstellar, he looked exactly the same.
Yeah, he's exactly the same.
So, like,
Interstellar.
What's it called? In
Planet of the Apes.
yeah, I've loved Lithgow ever since like you know seeing him Blowout and stuff like that, and he's always been able to play the creepy malevolent guy pretty well. He just has a creepy face. But
His head is too big for his face.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
no.
Makes sense.
I feel
but
like
at the same time, he's very sympathetic.
You
and that
can
he
recut-
portray that really well.
You
I was gonna
can
say
re-
it's great.
he
great
looks
acting.
like a very sympathetic person.
You
he
can
looks
recut
like your
this entire
regular
season
guy.
to make John Lithgow just look like a
I don't know.
Goofy old man.
Yeah.
It's like his the bottom half of his face just creeps me out. I don't.
I was
I
so
can-
surprised. I got right out of
All right,
bed.
but okay, let's get back
You like
because
trains?
we kind of veered off from like we talked about the subplots and you know you're suggesting that putting season 4 as season 3 and season 3 as season 4
Yeah.
and maybe you know the Prado character would have been like portrayed differently, right? Like helping you know Dexter overcome grief.
Yeah.
And that we're talking about the romance scene. Okay, so let's. Oh my gosh, the whole Deborah Anton thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like a whole season, a whole season,
And then he's just
dedicated-
like, all right, bye.
yeah.
Well,
And
it
Lundy
seems
coming
like
out.
they did that with a lot of characters from season
Yes.
3. They didn't even really talk that
Oh,
much
just wait
about,
till the season 6 to
about
season
like
7
season 3 and
transition.
the stuff that happened in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Skinner
Prado was
wasn't
like-
even mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bravo and Skinner.
Who cares about the Skinner?
And then it's like you know it's fine in any other show, but I mean not any other like if it's like let's say you're doing a movie or whatever like that. But when you're doing a continuous story like a television, you have to acknowledge
Things
the
have
events
to
after
matter.
X.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you have to continue it. It's not CSI, you know, where it's like week to week bullshit. it's not Criminal Minds, which is week to week bullshit, or Law and
Yeah.
Order SCV.
Bom, 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 bom.
And I watch all those shit, and I enjoy it for what it is. But I don't care because my expectations for there very low. I know it's a shit show.
Guys,
you know?
really quick.
It's like just the way they handle that subplot where it's Anton is the entire season. They make it that they have extreme connection. He fucking got skinned on his back for Deborah.
Yeah.
And then Deborah,
And
I
then
like
Deborah's
how-
like, oh, now that I have to spend time with you, I don't feel like
To be
it.
fair about Anton, it's kind of sad. He was like, Deborah straight up tells him like she cheated on him, and at first he's just like, it's okay, and she's like, no, Anton.
No, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like Deborah at all. But I mean, her storyline gets better. But
I liked it. I love Deb.
I
She
would
makes
say
a lot of bad decisions.
I like Deb once she actually investigates. That's when I think her character
Yeah.
is the strongest.
As a
when
cop.
Deb, when Deb, whenever it's of romance, it's just like falls shows below,
After, like, season
shit
five,
on the
she was
She
ground.
was a good
A lot
cop
of
this
it.
season.
Yeah, that's the
She
thing.
figured
Yeah.
a
When
shit
she
ton of stuff
when
out.
she investigates, I like her character. When she doesn't investigate, but
Yeah.
it's so there's that, and there's the whole Angel Batista with thing with the Vice.
yeah,
and then the Legret, and so they just drop it off because in between seasons, gosh,
not a fucking mention of her.
No, there
No,
is.
there-
No,
there
that,
is,
that was
there
only
is,
one
there is.
mentioned where he's like, oh, we just wanted different things.
Oh.
Really, you guys seem like you're pretty intense, but whatever.
Yeah,
but
they
then
went to fucking Dexter's wedding together.
yeah,
and it's
exactly.
like,
And there's a lot of like shit like that happens in between scenes. That's lazy fucking writing. Oh, and then they include so many scenes to them. I don't care if you want to fuck Lagretta or if like what gets transferred. The whole thing with the Chief Matthew things, with you have Angel Batista, Lagretta. They're like whether or not we need to disclose this relationship. They have multiple scenes with Dexter.
All right,
where
can
they're
we
like,
move on from this?
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
I will say-
I'll get this out of the way so we can get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? And it goes on and on and on. And they tell Matthews, and then Matthews like, okay, and then transfers, and then he's like, no, what do we do? Then they were like, let's just break up and we'll sign affidavits. And then they're like, they get caught. Affidavits. And then what's it called?
And then they got fucking married.
And then they got caught.
Affidavit.
And they're about to lose
they
it.
got caught, and,
And then
then they
they're-
got fired.
and
then
then
they got
they got
married
married.
to not get fired. And it's like,
Would that even work?
No. See,
No.
here's the thing: is like as much as Matthews is like really being an ass. This is like one of the few times where I actually really
No, I agree
sympathize
with
with
Matthews,
him.
yeah.
where he's just like, okay, are you guys actually broken up? Because I'm really getting tired of this shit.
Yeah.
and they're like, no, it's for real this time.
He's
like,
the
really?
audience.
Because
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
because I'm really getting sick of this middle school bullshit. Like, you back together, you're dating, you're not. Like, what the fuck? And then even at the end when they actually do get married, and he's just just annoyed.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I hope it was worth it because you guys really
Matthews-
fucked over your lives now because you got married on some on a whim for some bullshit. He's
'Cause
like,
they fucked
good
a few
job.
times.
Matthews
Yeah.
is here to berate. Matthews is here for like three things: to berate Laguerta, be casually racist, and reveal terrible family secrets to Dexter and Deborah.
No, I think this is one of Matthew's strongest seasons. At
He's
least
really not in it.
He's not in it.
he's not in it, but I
He's
think
even
what
better
does
than
that
Stretch.
say?
Matthews strong.
Yeah, but what's that say? You know?
Matthews
hey,
doesn't care
at
about
least
the
he's
Trinity
more in
Killer.
it than he was in last season.
He's not in
he
season
was,
3.
Yeah, he
Season
wasn't
three.
even in
He's
season 3.
mysteriously
Yeah.
missing.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that plot sucks.
He was golfing the entire season.
What's it called?
And I do like the reveal with like Deborah and stuff when he's just like, yeah, I do. And I understand why more at that point when people are like, maybe he does know about Dexter. Maybe he
We'll
does
get
know
into
what
that
happened with Harry.
later.
Yeah. But so that's like one of the moments where I'm like, maybe he did know.
Matthews gets like more suspect each season, like especially towards the last 3, where it's like, how you're either blind or dumb.
But yeah, going back to like Deb and her characterization, it's like her being a cop. I love how like, how ridiculously dedicated she is to like investigating something and how she just won't let go of something once she's got it. And that's like carries over to the whole CI thing and Harry's past. Like after she witnesses Christine's suicide right in front of her, and Batista's like, you just witnessed that shit 4 hours ago. Why are you still here? Go home. Like, get out of here. And she's like, okay. She packs up. She finally decides to leave because she's forced out. And then she immediately calls up the old CI and she's like, hey, let's do some investigating. It's like, Jesus, Deb, take a break.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Take a break. I know it's
and,
yeah.
and that's the part of the character I liked, right?
Yeah.
Like honestly, retroactively, like let's say
I like it. I don't think it's realistic at all.
Oh, no,
Like they
no,
would
no.
not allow her to be working like 2 days after she got shot.
So-
right?
No, she'd be
Yeah.
forced off the.
One
You know
thing-
what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing
Yeah.
I will say about when she contacts that old CI and then they go check out the house, how the hell did she not like just break down in trauma when she's like, oh fuck, it's this house? Like She was like just calm and composed
To
about
be
it.
fair,
No, I think she
Deb's
does.
She's like, I've
character-
been here before.
To be fair, Deb's character is the kind of person that lets everything boil until it breaks, like rather
Yeah.
than deal
Yeah.
with it one at a time.
I feel like you do get a decent reaction from her as she's like, oh fuck, like I've been here before, and she's kind of like, you know, having flashes of like stuff that happened. Like I don't know, that felt fine to me.
Yeah,
The
I was
performance
okay
there
with that.
She just seemed too calm about it to me.
So it's like, and then like I was okay with. Okay, so let's just say this. Like, yeah, if it really wasn't for the Anton thing, if Anton didn't exist, that Lundy storyline is actually a pretty good storyline for her character, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
she gets killed and stuff. Like, you know, they get killed. It's a good motivation, stuff like that. But they just had to deal with whatever mess season 3
What
caused.
if
I will
Anton
say,
was
like,
the real-life
rewatching
killer?
it, I because I haven't seen this in like, you know, since it came out. Like, I forgot what happened to Lundy. I was like, wow, how does Lundy go away? I was like, what's the thing? Like, what's and it like, you know, then they get shot, and I was like, oh, yeah. Now I remember. I was like, oh, poor Lundy.
Yeah,
I
was.
feel so bad for Lundy because he shows up in town chasing his white whale and nobody fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like he keeps trying to talk to Dexter and Dexter's like, oh, like Dexter's giving him excuse after excuse. Even Deb's kind of like cold at it at first. She thinks this is some like ploy. Like nobody gives a fuck. And then the minute he dies, everybody starts caring. I feel so bad for Lundy this entire season.
Just how, yeah, pretty much. And I love Lundy. I love that actor Keith Carradine. What's it called? He's always like excellent in whatever he portrays in. Yeah, so I was kind of sad when Lundy went out, but I mean,
Yeah.
it made sense.
And then
He
it,
didn't need enough cucumber sandwiches. This season.
yeah, I know. I was on that negative
It's
1
a
point
plot
shit.
line.
And then it leads to one of my
Shit felt good.
favorite
Okay.
cop moments from Batista when he's interrogating Christine. And we can get to that later if you want, but like that's one of my favorite moments of him being a cop. And it's like, oh yeah, this is why Batista's like actually a decent cop.
Yeah,
Maybe he's just a good interrogator.
he's just using
Yeah.
his real life world experiences as a cop. Yeah.
Batista's pretty smart, honestly. At the
No,
end of the
he's
day.
not.
He's
I
not
wouldn't
bad.
call
He's
He's
inconsistent.
okay,
He's
him and Deb
He's
do come
inconsistent.
up with a
He's
lot of,
inconsistent
like,
at best.
I think he's like
lot of like figuring out very strange things and like finding little tiny details.
he's just above Quinn, I feel, who Quinn's also not the smartest cop.
Quinn's good, but not like he's not smart, but he is good. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah, like he's not like anywhere near as good as like Dokes or like
No,
really
And we
Uri Deb.
really didn't get
or-
to see Quinn do much like work this season.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was wrapped
this
up
is
with
his entire.
Christine
Yeah, there's
crap.
plot. It's like he steals money. He gets in tussle with. He tries to become Dexter's friend, doesn't work.
Which I like,
Tails
by the
Dexter.
way.
You know, fucks Christine. Finds out Christine's the what's it called? You know, related to Trinity Killer.
Yeah.
Gets suppressed. Next season
Yeah.
and next season. Oh, shit.
I like Quinn in the next season. I don't care.
I
We'll argue
got
about
you,
it next
though.
week.
Okay, just from what I remember from the next season,
This is his next
I don't
season.
I don't mind Quinn as much. I mean, he does bug me because like his relationship with Dexter, I think really kind of they push it more in the forefront, like his him being like a confrontational character, like, you know, kind of stepping into Dokes' shoes more, as this is the cop who like doesn't get Dexter. He's kind of like feels something's off about him, and then, you know,
But it
they
goes
have-
a completely different
yeah, it goes a
direction.
very different way. but-
This because
yeah.
I've always said that what I like about Quinn is the dynamic he creates with Dexter, and we're kind of seeing the beginning of it. But it's a very long form dynamic that pretty much lasts the rest of the show. But I always like it, and it's always kind of evolving.
I disagree.
I
I, don't
never-
like any of their
Yeah,
scenes.
I'll
They
say
don't
I
have that
ne-
much chemistry together, like
But
how Dokes and
that's
stuff
what, I
like
don't
that.
know. I really
Yeah.
like their dynamic. I like how they kind of like see each other, and like season 5 is kind of a dramatic season for them too. But going forward, even after that, they have a really weird viewpoint of each other that I kind of like, which I don't want to spoil.
I agree with
I'll
the
just-
viewpoint, but I don't think
They-
they, have
I don't
any-
know.
They
They're-
don't have any. They don't have any screen chemistry as partners.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think.
say like in this season, I don't know. It always bugged me how like Quinn views Dexter. Like he's so dumb that he doesn't realize what a great detective is, like what Detective Dexter is. And I feel like that was always so interesting with Dokes, is that Dokes respected the hell out of Dexter. He knew that he was a really good cop, basically. Like I think that's what one of the underlying things that just motivated Dokes so much was that he realized that Dexter is a better detective than he is, you know? And he wants to understand, and his like the way he deals with that is he has to understand why he's got to be a freak, which he's right.
Yeah.
But like, so,
And he
but
gets
he's
frustrated,
like,
and he's
yeah,
just, you know.
he gets so pissed off. But he's like, why is this guy so good at this? You know, like why is he so good, and why isn't he actually doing my job then? You know.
Yeah.
And it's like with Quinn, he just sees him like, he's a lab geek, he's some nerd, like, he's a dweeb, he's a weirdo. And
I
it's
don't
like,
know, I
ah,
love
Because Quinn's
There
a
was that
stupid
one
character.
scene
Yeah.
with Quinn this
He's
season
stupid
where
as
he
fuck.
actually called Dexter a freak and like was like talking to Deb and was like, yeah, your brother's like fucking weird.
Yeah, I think he just says something like
Yeah.
actually not that bad. He's just like, it's like your brother's kind of a dweeb, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
No,
and
no.
she's like, yeah.
All right, so let's get into the main central conflict, which is Dexter versus Trinity Killer.
Who?
And then when Arthur, and then
Oh,
when
is that
we,
this season?
yes, I know, it's surprising. It's like it's almost as if they don't focus on it that much.
Oh bullshit!
No, they do. It's like they have so many subplots. They have so many subplots. This show could have like been easy. Like honestly, okay, look. The thing is, like, what's it called? If you just look at the sequence plot of events, it's like kind of sensible, but it feels so drawn out, the conflict, because of all the subplots, right? Because
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
much space in between
Well,
the
I
subplots,
think
and the
that they
pacing
did
is so
that-
fucked.
I think they did that kind of on purpose.
They did that because they have contractual obligations to make 12 episodes a season. That's
Yeah.
the reason why.
No, but
you know what I mean?
also it
No, it really is. That's the reason why.
Okay,
That's
no,
the reason
but-
why they had all the
but
subplots.
Listen to me for a second.
Yeah.
On this. So yeah, they had that contractual obligation to make 12 seasons, but I
12
feel
seasons.
like, or sorry, 12 episodes a season. Sorry, and that might have caused it.
I would have went insane if it was whole seasons. I gotta go on.
But at the end of the day, I think it was really because they wanted to make all of John Lithgow's scenes hit, and they really did hit. Like every time that he was on screen, it was a well-written, well thought out scene, and his acting really helped to push everything forward. And I feel like they didn't want to oversaturate the show. That's why they used him kind of sparingly. They didn't
Alright.
even really
And, like, the
introduce
But they
first time-
oversaturated
I
it
completely
with
disagree.
shitty subplots.
Yeah, so I'll say this. What's it called? I agree with you that John Lithgow is fucking fantastic. Every time he's on the scene, he lights it up with his weird looking face and his amazing acting abilities. But I completely fucking disagree that's why they did that, and I also completely fucking disagree that by doing that, it what's called lessens the impact. Because if you watch The Crown, John Lithgow's like, have you
I'm
seen
not
Watch The Crown?
No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't watched
So,
The Crown.
Like literally, there's been other things where John Lithgow's been like every episode and almost every other scene, and he's fucking fantastic.
No, I'm
So
not
I'm saying that-
I'm not saying that
And
it
it
can't
hits
be
just as hard.
fantastic.
No, I'm saying,
It's just like
and I don't think that by doing this, actually for me, it lessens the impact. Because John Lithgow is such an amazing actor that he pulls me back from this little rut where I felt like being stabbed by a bunch of German dungeon porners, and then now I'm like back at it with this amazing performance and the writing around this character. But I disagree with that completely, 100%.
I feel like this
Fucking
season
cunt.
it's one of the most frustrating seasons, not in a bad way, but like in one of the best ways of just like, you're seeing Dexter basically just kind of toying with Trinity most of the season, or he's just following around. He wants to learn from him, and
he's
Harry
not-
just keeps
yeah.
telling him like, why haven't you killed him yet?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we should
he
just kill
keeps
this
on
guy.
I wouldn't say that
delaying, by
he's
the way,
toying
which
with
is also a
Trinity.
little, I think,
he's trying to
like, you
understand.
wanna
Trinity.
I know
into
I know it's like derived. I'm sure 'cause, they had 12 episodes. They had to make them last
Well,
and stuff.
and
But
you
I
feel like that when
no.
I feel like when the writers have this, like, you have to make me immersed in the show, and you have to make me forget that you have a contractual obligation to make 12 episodes.
But the
for me
thing
to get
is,
it.
I feel like
but
when
then
it-
they don't. I don't think they do.
With the execution of Trinity, I feel like it really works because you do want to see like Dexter just kill him already. Just kill him.
Well-
and that's like he's not.
But at the
he
same
then,
time, you
he-
want to
Well,
see more of him.
I want to say something.
Yeah, I want to see more of Trinity. I think that's why. I mean, okay, look, hot take. I think Trinity is the best killer in the whole show.
What?
I think he's the best villain.
Oh wow, that's a
And-
hot take. Oh,
yeah, I know,
okay.
right? Yeah, but
I like the Ice Truck
I
one more.
no. See, the difference is between like I think Trinity and Ice Truck Killer is that like you don't really know who it is at first, right? This one they're pretty upfront. It's like I forget
the
which
first scene.
Yeah, it's like the first episode. Yeah, first scene you see who the Trinity Killer is.
I like
taking a
that.
bath.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
You immediately know what he's doing. Dexter finds out pretty early on as well, and then you see the effects of like him and Dexter like just knowing each other without Trinity knowing who Dexter is. And then I think it's not what's like episode 10 when Trinity actually finds out who Dexter is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Hello,
Or no,
Dexter
11,
Morgan.
11. Yeah. But even
Which,
then you
by
get
the
those
way, that reveal.
Oh wait,
was-
oh, you talking about like his name? I mean,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
finds out
Dexter's not.
like
even
he
said
that's
it.
what it says in
Nine.
episode like episode 9.
Yeah.
or the whole Thanksgiving, and in the episode he has the whole search for
To
episode 10
get
and
into
11.
Yeah.
the thing you guys are talking about too, I did want to say, to me, the main theme of this season is actually balance. Like it's about like Dexter like trying to balance like all of this shit together. And I
Well,
think that's
no,
part
it's
of,
about family.
Well, no, but I'd say it's more balance because
Or
it's
both.
like
It's both.
yeah, or both. I mean, family's
yeah, he
obviously
wants
a
to know
huge
how to
part.
balance his family
But
with
Yeah.
it's
being
like
a killer.
Dexter has to balance all of this shit, right? It's like, okay, I have to be Dexter Morgan, the serial killer. I have to be Dexter Morgan, the family man. I have to be Dexter Morgan, the blood spatter analysis. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like kind of the main thrusting point of the season is he meets Trinity and he's going to kill him, but he's like, well,
Let me see how he does
is,
it.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
he has been doing this shit for 30 fucking years.
He does seem to
Clearly.
have like a well put together life. His family is like all loving and stuff.
Yeah, so he's kind of like, well, before I kill him, I might as well learn from him. But also, I think it's kind of like it's almost like a sick joke is that in this season, Dexter actually worsens everything. Dexter doesn't save any, or I guess he saves a little boy, but Dexter actually makes this whole situation worse. There's nothing he does in this season affecting Trinity actually gives it a better outcome. 'Cause Trinity
Wait,
was
actually,
gonna-
like
I disagree with that.
people died.
Trinity was
okay.
going to kill himself.
So, but
Trinity-
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he
that
saved
part's
it.
true. Yeah,
Dexter,
that part's true.
yeah.
So-
So Dexter doesn't save any victims prior to like,
And he gets what, 3 more people killed?
yeah,
yeah,
At
Yeah.
least?
That-
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
because
he gets like I would say 2 people directly killed. You know, he gets Rita killed, and then he also gets
what?
The Kyle Butler guy.
He
yeah,
gets the
Kyle
Kyle Butler
Butler
got
killed.
killed. He gets that little boy abducted,
it's two
basically.
Yeah.
Kyle Butlers, right?
It-
Or is
No,
it
no,
just one?
no,
Just
no,
one
he
Kyle
usually
Butler?
gets killed.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
sees
just
like
one.
the photos and he leaves.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I think one of the things that the writers did really well this season with John Lithgow's character is the way that they introduced him. They introduced the Trinity Killer, and all you see at first are the killings. You don't really see the motivation behind the killings. And then until the end. And then when he's on his last kill, that's when he first starts like communicating and you see him talking with people. And then after that, that's when you start to see the other side of him, his family man side. And that's the side that Dexter is looking at. And he's like, I just saw this guy, you know, kill all these people. I know it was him. And how is he also this family man?
Yeah, and that was
And
interesting
that's
angle.
really what, because Dexter was struggling the whole time, you know, even like from the first episode when he gets in the car crash and is like, oh fuck, where did I put the body parts? They're gonna find these. I'm gonna get in
Gosh,
so
the
much
car
fucking
crash.
trouble. Like honestly, when I
forgot
saw
about
that, I was like, come on, you can't be this dumb, Dexter. That crash was just the dumbest thing I think they could have done in terms of like opening up Dexter, because it's like he's experienced, he knows what he's doing, and it just adds this element of like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
It's
why
the
are
most
you
dramatic
driving
crash ever.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom,
It's like
boom,
mega
boom,
crash.
boom,
He
boom,
He
boom,
doesn't
boom,
even
up-
hit anything,
He
right?
comes
He
up
just
pretty much
swerves.
unscathed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, yeah, it's just I don't know.
And
I think
I-
the crash was too much, but I disagree
what
that
he means,
that
But you know why they had
Dexter's-
to crash? Because they had to have another episode. It literally extends the story by another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. That's like the weakest
And I didn't
episode.
like that episode. Yeah, that's definitely the weakest. Like, he's
Oh,
just
the
looking
body
for where he
parts.
hit his body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he-
I did not care.
Oh my god! And he hit it in a punching bag at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, how did you do that? Where's all the sand that was in the punching bag? Like, where'd all this go? Like,
I completely agree with you, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It frustrated the fuck out of me.
That was
I'm
probably
okay with that,
that,
starting the season. Though,
that was
'cause I
probably a
think
Scott Buck episode. You know.
I think that I'm okay with that kind of kicking off the season because I think it really does show like Dexter's like need for balance. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you
Like I
think?
said-
Do you think that's the episode that gave Scott Buck the showrunner
Yeah,
title
exactly.
after this? They're like, that was a great episode, man. You're in
Yours.
charge.
You know the thing
Scott
is,
Buck did the bad seasons of Dexter, then went
Fine.
on to do Iron Fist.
I honestly like if dude, don't traumatize me further. We're talking about a bad show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
liked
not saying-
Iron Fist. That was a great show.
Oh,
Probably
shut
one of the
up.
best shows Marvel's
You're
done.
not talking about Iron
he's being a
Fist.
troll. The water is cold under the
I'm
bridge
Danny
today.
Rand.
Okay, so
I'm Danny Rand.
I'm
Was
the
it-
immortal Iron Fist.
what's it called? Barely uses the Iron Fist.
I actually liked him. I like him as an actor.
Finn Jones?
He's
like
a
his-
great actor.
No, he's a great actor. Just
I mean,
really
in-
bad show,
in
really
Game
bad
of-
characters.
Yeah, in Game
Yeah.
of Thrones,
He was great as a
he's-
Tyrell.
Yeah, he's a fantastic Tyrell. His character's great, and I mean, they of course
Tyrell Wellick
they
from
kind of
Mr.
waste
Robot?
him, kind of, but like
Dude, I love that actor. I want to see more stuff.
I don't know
Tyrell
his
Wellick.
name, but he's great.
He's
in
yes, that's
Mr.
yeah.
Robot.
It's like
he's a
one
great
percent.
actor, just shitty,
I think we're talking about
shitty
shit
show.
different.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. We're not talking about
Okay,
Iron
so
Fist.
so I mean like look, if you wanted to go with a like basically like he's tired and stuff like that, it just would have been more realistic. Like maybe he like hit something right? Like that's probably like, you know, people have done that where they're too tired. They hit something on like maybe somebody hit like a hitchhiker or hit whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that could have been an interesting thing. And
And then he
Dexter
has to like figure out how to like
chop him up. And and
dispose of the body.
and that's like, you know, like that also kind of set up where he breaks the code for Harry, which gets to when he kills Jonathan Farrow.
Yeah,
Which
that
I-
was
That guy
really
deserved to
weird.
die. Who
Yeah.
cares?
No, he didn't.
Well,
but
no, he's just an artist.
He didn't
he's
deserve to
annoying.
die.
Little,
Yeah,
he's
according
an annoying
to the
little
code.
fuck, but
But he was
doesn't
an innocent weirdo.
Was
Yeah.
he a rapist though?
No,
No.
well, I mean, they hinted that because they want to
Yeah.
make it sympathize that like what's it called? It's like he never got tried, that he has some type of sexual assault crime, but never got tried. They assume that he paid it off, but
Yeah,
like
which
I
is
said.
still really fucked up.
yeah,
you
like I
know.
said, but we never
He's
get the
still
answer
not a
whether
good
he actually
person.
did it.
But
though,
he's
you
not
know?
a murderer, and that's like
That's
kind
the
of
code.
The code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And surprisingly,
Dexter killed a pedophile.
and surprisingly,
last
I thought that
That's
that was
true.
gonna last longer. Like the impact of him breaking the code, that's big. And you break the code that you lived your entire life.
He breaks
by.
the code every fucking season.
It does.
though.
But I know. But this was like the biggest one, right? The big role, the no kill
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a sense. But then, and that's the whole thing with like he couldn't kill Dokes. But then like after like the road trip episode, is it the road trip? Yeah, it's roadkill, right? The roadkill episode.
Yeah.
It's not really brought up afterwards.
No.
And
Yeah.
the character impact is minimal. And that's just what I call like, I don't, dude,
Well,
this is like,
The road trip episode, I really did like the whole thing where John Lithgow was like, "You and I are the same. We both killed people by accident. It wasn't our fault."
That's a great episode, by the way. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorites of the entire season.
And that's like where you really start to see kind of like the trauma that caused John Lithgow to become the serial killer that he is.
Yeah.
Oh, the scene with the family at the table where Dexter like sneaks away, and because he sneaks away, John Lithgow goes and joins his family and starts
I took
telling
them to
them.
the house where my sister died.
oh wait, that was
Yeah.
the Asian family and stuff.
No,
No,
Isn't
that's
it?
at the
Oh, that's a
restaurant.
diner. No,
At the diner. It's a
diner.
white family.
it's a white family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
so
Asian
Asian
family's
family's
at
the
the
house.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And the parents are like just scared as fuck of him. You can like literally see it on their face. Like they did it very well.
I don't think
say
they were
I-
scared of him. They were just really
Oh, we know
uncomfortable.
the Asian family is when he goes back to the same house.
Is
Yeah,
it racist?
yeah.
Philip, let me ask you a question. Is it racist that Dexter like bows to them?
I don't know. Not really. No, I mean, like, well, my mom like expects people to bow and stuff like that. It's just not really.
Well,
I
I'm
don't,
gonna
feel, I
start.
don't think
if
I've
I
ever
ever
bowed
meet
to
your
your
mom.
mom before.
no,
That's why she
looks
doesn't know
down
your
on you.
name.
That's why she doesn't like me.
Yeah. She still calls you Edgar by this day.
Yeah.
I think recently I said Ronald to my mom and she was like, who?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. Reason why his mom calls me Edgar. Not gonna
We've
get-
covered it.
We've
Oh, we-
explained it.
we have? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. We've talked about it. We're gonna talk
Oh,
about it in
yeah.
The Sopranos, which is like one of the yeah.
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 We'll get there.
What's it called? Yeah. So okay. So let's get into it. Let's go into favorite episodes. So what are your favorite episodes and why?
I'll just come straight out and say it's the finale. It's great, but I'm sure we'll have an entire discussion on that
Yes.
in itself. But other than that, I also really like Roadkill. I like the ending to that episode a lot. In it, the whole thing where like Dexter finds out that Trinity's gonna kill himself, and Dexter's like, in his inner monologue, he's like, "This was Trinity's plan. This is why he was okay with all of this. Is this the only future for me?" It's the ultimate like moment where when Dexter first meets Trinity, he doesn't kill him right away. It's because he thinks there's a lot to learn, right? He meets this guy who's doing what he's been doing, but for a very long time and virtually undetected. So he's like, holy shit, there is an answer to all of this. And then this is the episode where he realizes Trinity never really had a plan. He was just going to kill himself to like deal with all of his problems. I don't know. I find that to be really powerful.
That was a good part. I did like that part.
Honestly,
about
it's
you?
really hard for me to say.
You can say you look
Episode
good.
10, The Lost Boys. I think the last 3 episodes.
I don't know why you don't like that.
That's weird that
do
you had
not
that.
understand how you don't like that episode.
The tension, what's it called? The shot, and like we're talking about like going left and right, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and then just like
That's an episode 11.
It's way more
Oh, wait,
tense.
that's
Like you
episode
see him
11,
like
Idiot!
you see him just like running around. This is like the first time I think that Dexter actually feels like a hero, right? Like when he
Yeah.
saves the boy and he's like just so frantic, just trying to figure out how to get to this kid before he dies, and seeing the abduction and everything. It works really well. Like those last 3 episodes, I'm totally cheating. I'm gonna say those
that's
3.
fine. I agree with you too.
Yeah,
The last
like,
3 episodes is like for me
So great.
like if the entire season why this like I'm not saying in terms of like plot and tension, but in terms of quality was like this 3 seasons. This might have been the first Dexter season that gets a certain rating at the end, but we'll get into that. What about you, Jason?
I would go back an episode before. I think a lot of people would say Hungry Man
Yes.
is the best, and I really think it is. Like,
I think-
I know your problems with it,
Yeah.
Philip, but like, just getting to know that family
Yeah.
is a fucking ride.
A house of
like,
horrors.
Yeah.
it's so fucked up. Like his daughter, like hitting on Dexter, and then the mom seeing it, and she's just like, "Just don't tell. Like, whatever you do."
Or like the whole
It's
fact
don't
that
like
tell.
she wanted Dexter to literally take the daughter away.
Yeah,
like,
and the daughter
yeah.
was like, "I'll do anything,
Yeah. And,
like,
anything."
And the
So-
fact
Get
that
me
like
outta
the
here.
daughter's room is like a 10-year-old's room,
Yeah.
and like the locks and everything.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it- just every minute of that episode, you're just learning more and more, and it's just
That's for my
more
windshield.
fucked up.
Oh, and then like later, I think it's in either episode 11 or episode 12 where John Lithgow brings up, "Oh yeah, I know about the money you keep behind your headboard," and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, this guy like literally just searches his daughter's room.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also obviously that scene, the dinner scene. Blake had showed me that scene like without context.
Like years ago.
yeah, and I thought it was all right. Like I didn't really care, but knowing the context of what's going on, I think it's fucking great.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah, I just love the whole. So I want to say this right now: 98% of this season is John Lithgow going, "Well, Kyle," but like this particular, "Well, Kyle" is great, and he's like, "We have a family tradition of saying what we're thankful for," and then like they all kind of go around, nobody, and as he notes, nobody says they're thankful for him. Well, no one said they're thankful for me. Did you, Jonah? Did you say you were thankful for me, Jonah? Huh, Jonah? Like it's like that shit is like really
John-
tense.
It's incredibly uncomfortable.
Dude, John
Yeah.
Lithgow just makes that scene so
And then
much.
Dexter's
like,
being
hey-
his awkward self talking about yams.
Yeah, he's like, I'm thankful for yams.
But like Jason said, it doesn't really do anything if they hadn't built up John Lithgow's
Well, yeah,
character so
obviously,
well.
yes.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
like,
like-
good story payoff.
Yeah. So I think that that's something that, you know, this is like,
I think that's my favorite written episode.
Yes.
I'll give it that. Yeah,
Yeah.
favorite written episode, but just visually directed,
yeah.
so
And
totally.
I would actually
I'm all
say
about
that
narrative, so yeah.
episode 10, 11, and 12 really feel like a 3-part finale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see
yeah,
that.
it does.
yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah.
it's everything just keeps ramping up more and more
Mm-hmm.
and more, and then when you finally hit the climax, you feel like Dexter, right? You're just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
relieved, it's finally over. Everything, yeah, and then that ending, fuck, it just kills you so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this season benefits so much from rewatch, because first time you're going through, it's like, you know, it's a pretty good season for the beginning, and then it gets really good towards the end. But like throughout, knowing what happens, especially what happens to Rita, and revisiting it and everything, and you just see all of their interactions together, you see the buildup, you see all the mistakes that like Dexter is making again and again, and it's just like so fucking frustrating.
Like I
because-
said, this is the ultimate. Dexter literally worsens the situation.
yeah,
in this
and it's
season.
like it just makes it so much more painful watching everything that's like happening, just like knowing what it leads to, and it's like, oh god, you're just pulling your hair out. And
I have something to say about Rita, and I don't know if you guys disagree, but I feel like she took a step back this season.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah,
I agree.
She
Yeah.
wasn't nearly as interesting to me. She had like 2 tones this entire season, which is I'm deeply in love with Dexter or I'm really frustrated with Dexter. And that was
That's
all she
literally
was.
like every single season.
No,
with
but
it.
like
Yeah,
she
this one-
progressed a
This one
lot
part I
more.
agree.
Like
last
in
season, she had a
season,
job.
season
Yeah.
one,
She was
miraculously doesn't have a real.
She was the
season
executive
one.
administrative assistant towards Miguel Prado's wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be
Yeah.
seeing her again.
Yeah. Oh my god.
this season
why
is
wasn't
just,
she in this season?
yeah, like if
Uh,
any
because of
season,
lack of planning.
any season that like
Lack of details.
Rita needed a friend, just in terms of like to help her character, like her
Yeah.
progression, so that she could have someone to talk to,
Hell yeah.
other than Deb. I mean, other than Dexter. But I think if anything, I kind of see why they maybe did it, because it does like, you know, give a little air of validity to like her being lonely enough that like, and frustrated enough with Dexter that she possibly would, you know, emotionally cheat with him,
She also
especially.
kisses him. Well,
yeah.
he kisses her, but
Yeah, but I think it's like she definitely allowed him to kiss her, right?
Yeah.
And she kind of like, you know, there's
she was in a
like
situation.
it's like, yeah, like when she like burns herself, he like puts her up on the counter and shit. It's like, I don't know about you, but if I saw someone doing that with my girlfriend, I'd fucking lose my mind. I'd be like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what? I'm not a jealous guy or anything, but I'd be like, hey, what the fuck is happening here? You know?
I
So-
love how Masuka sees it.
Yeah, that's one of my
Masuka
favorite
has the
things.
best subplot because it's small
Oh,
and
yes.
insignificant.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
love
does.
Masuka.
This is
Throws away his lava
Masuka's best subplot for sure, because I love how he's just so nervous and does not want to
He's
tell
like, I'm gonna
Dexter.
go. I like how he throws away the lava cakes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck this.
and then he tells Dexter, and Dexter's like, I already found out. She already told me.
Yeah, and he's like,
oh.
okay. He's just like super nervous, and he like wants, and he keeps just trying to like catch up to Dexter, like most people this season. He's like, hey, wait, and he's like, fuck, he just can't can't get a word to it.
I think that Masuka thinks that he's Dexter's best friend, and I mean, he
Everybody
always
thinks
has.
they're Dexter's best friend.
And
Yeah.
and back to what you said about Rita. Yeah, I think that would have been better if she still continued her career and advanced in, because that would have even been like a bigger drive between the two and bigger regret, and probably make it even more tragic at the end, where they finally get to do spend time.
Yeah.
But it's just like they drop it because they don't have plans, they don't like details, they don't care about
She was
character
on
consistency.
I will
Yeah.
say this season
She was
they-
on maternity leave.
could be-
they
that could
they
be
turn up the
explained, I
details
guess.
and the planning this
They
season.
tell
It
details
feels-
for the Trinity Killer. Yes, I agree with that.
I was gonna feel like
Yeah.
say overall, I feel like this season does a pretty good job at setting up plot threads and having them all
With
come
the
together
Trinity
by
Killer.
the
Can I
end.
talk about
Yeah,
this
so the
too?
Trinity Killer.
Yeah,
Payoff,
but
even
everything
though
else.
it's kinda
And
small.
with Dexter, pretty much
the
everything
show is not-
related to Dexter, I'll say, pays off the end of this season.
Can I talk about my favorite
That's it.
payoff, even though it's kind of small?
What?
I love the fact that Dexter hides in the coffin at the end of the season.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why. I've always loved that little detail of him just like chilling in the coffin at the end, and then like the fucking garage door opens and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, that's like the one moment that I didn't like in that finale episode, because it's like it just feels so dumb. Like,
And just because nobody called. Oh, yeah.
oh man,
So I mean, so let's kind of like somewhat not wrap this up, but then like get into our final thoughts. So yeah, we have the whole Dexter season. John Lithgow, fantastic.
yeah,
Let's break down the finale. And I agree with you that the whole coffin thing really stretched my realm of disbelief.
yeah.
Yeah, like everyone just shows up. He's obviously the first one there.
When
like,
nobody called him.
already in
Yeah.
the garage. Like,
Yeah.
strange.
It's like, yeah, what was he
and
running
no one
next
calls
to
him
the
out
SWAT
on it.
team, dude?
Deb
Yeah.
a little bit. Deb's
you know-
like, what the fuck,
And
dude?
she's like, "Where the fuck's your flak jacket?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, it's in the car. I wanted to go in without it."
I like how Dexter's awkwardly like, "Oh, look at this," and he points to like the hammer.
yeah.
And you know the weird thing is, it's like this show in the past 3 seasons has so many logical inconsistencies or lack of attention to detail that I really didn't even mind it by this point.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, another one. I was like,
Yeah.
and then Ron was talking about earlier with Deborah mentioning the Laura Moser revelation
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end and stuff. And then for me, yeah, that's classic writer trope of when one character knows something and it's revealed to the audience, and then but then the other character doesn't know and then finds out and then retells it to the audience. But that's like just what's it called? Like it's like just repetitive like relay of information,
Mm-hmm.
and they do
Yeah.
that because sometimes they have to do it narratively, but there are more interesting ways to do it. In this case, it was just it really did feel just like
Yeah, like a
downtime stuff.
rehash. I think that it should have come with a lot more consequences than she's just like, this is like a big deal. But she does have one line that always bugged me, where it's like, "What does the name Laura Moser mean to you?" And he's like, "I don't know, nothing." And she's like, "Good, because it shouldn't." And it's like, that's his mom.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's his fucking mom, who was murdered in front of him as a kid. You don't know, man. Like, of course that's gonna mean something to him. Like, what the fuck?
You mean
Ironically,
Deborah
both
being an
Deb-
emotionally savvy character? Wow. I don't
Yeah, I know. It's
Ironically-
consistent with her, but I'm just saying.
I
it
agree with
always
that. At least
bugged
that's consistent.
Yeah,
That is consistent.
like even when and where she tells him, like super
yeah, the
inconvenient.
worst time possible.
Yeah,
like,
a terrible place to do it, right in
That's
front of
too
this
much,
place.
though.
That's
Yeah,
why,
but
that's
also
why-
very
but,
much
like,
inconsistent
That's my
with.
problem with her character. Is she's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
about these things.
It's so that's like I'm bringing back up what I've said multiple times.
Miles,
that
the biggest defender of Dexter. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Deb is less emotionally developed than Dexter is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
She's less emotionally
Which makes sense for
mature.
the show's called Dexter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about like her development in the show, but her like emotional maturity.
Well, that
Is
goes
less
into
than
development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's more of a
I think
person than
it's-
Dexter, though.
Yeah, it's she's gone through a lot of trauma and stuff. Like she's dealt with like
But she
a
doesn't
lot of
even
bullshit
understand
and
her trauma that she's gone through, really.
no, yeah, of
Deb
course
needs
not.
therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she needs
Yeah.
some serious therapy. She's not the kind of character to get
gets
it.
it
I mean,
later
she
on.
gets it later eventually, yeah. Which again, that kind of leads down a really dumb road, but like she
Oh,
does get it
season-
eventually. But like it's just like it's frustrating but consistent with her character, which is something I do appreciate that the show does, is that like she just doesn't know how to like
with
she's
emotions.
got no emotional intelligence. And it's terrible. And I do like how that spills over a lot into her police work and being a cop, because a lot of it is being emotionally intelligent, being able to understand and relate and talk to people, which
And
is where-
not pull guns on kids.
That's
Yeah.
that's one thing I like.
She was going through a lot that season,
3.
okay?
That's one thing I liked in season 3 when she was like interrogating people and she just had no idea how to like connect with them.
Yeah,
And then Quinn
kinda
comes
teaches
in.
her.
Yeah.
which
and
is which is why I love so much with this season when she's interrogating Christine. Like
You see
it
her
works so
progress.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like a
see her
detective.
progress. You see her, like as a she's becoming more of a well-rounded police officer,
Also, I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but I do like that, like,
detective, whatever.
LaGuerta and Deb are cooler this season. Like, you kind of see them, like, progressively get, like, less on each other's backs throughout the series, which I like.
Who?
I
Who?
like that.
Who?
LaGuerta
LaGuerta
and
and Deb.
Deborah.
yeah.
I like that because that means less time spent on subplots and conflict.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with that.
I like the finale a lot, though. I mean,
Although I will say Deb kind of really throws Dexter under the bus when Rita's like, "Do you know anything about Dexter's apartment?" She's like, "No, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
can't believe, why would he do that?" And it's like, Jesus, that's your brother. Like,
But to
you
be
know,
fair, that's something Deborah.
yeah,
would
I know
do.
it is
Yeah.
something she would do, but I'm just saying, it always bugged me. She really just threw her brother under the
What'd you want her to
bus
say?
there.
Like, if
Just
she
be
was
like,
an
I
emotionally
don't know.
intelligent person, she would have like saved face for Dexter.
Yeah.
and literally
Yeah.
been like,
That's
"Oh,
what-
I'm not sure, but
yeah,
I'm sure he has
maybe
his
he was
reasons."
saving the apartment for me. I've been looking for a place, something
Yeah.
to
See,
kind of
see,
like
see, see.
throw Dexter a bone for fuck's sake. He's
But
always
seeing
pulling your
Deborah-
ass out of the fire.
Exactly. Seeing Deborah being this emotionally unstable or like unintelligent makes me curious on like Dexter New Blood when they bring her as like basically a version of his dark passenger.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like how is she going to portray that? I'm actually excited for that. Like because Jennifer
Is she
Carpenter
just
has
gonna be
such
like,
wide
"What
range.
the fuck all the time."
Yeah.
Yeah, it
fuck,
should be
Dexter,
really
kill him.
yeah, it should be really interesting. Because
Plug
she's
him.
she's obviously not like Harry, because Harry was like the person who was guiding him to do all these things, right? So
Yeah.
he representing the code makes complete sense. Deb is definitely not of the code or not for it
Yeah,
at
probably
all.
represents like his guilt or something.
Yeah,
based on
so
what happens in the
so it
last
could
series.
lead to like some really interesting
yeah,
stuff.
let's talk about this, though. I
Yeah,
want to wrap up the...
yeah. Let's
All right,
wrap
so
up
let's-
season
what do you guys
4.
think of the final scene with like both Arthur on the
I have a
table
lot to
and the Rita?
that's- First of all, Trinity, one of the best death scenes. It's in my top 3. Ice Truck Killer, Miguel Prado.
Again, so
Trinity.
frustrating though. But yes.
Well,
Wait, I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was kind of anticlimactic.
I really liked
I
their
agree.
last interactions with each other where Trinity's like, so this is who you really are.
I just wanted
Yeah.
it to be longer and more like built up, like because the whole season he's trying to, or the last 3 episodes he's trying to fucking get him and he just can't. Then he gets him and then he's just like, okay, you're dead. Boom.
well, it's a
Yeah.
little
Well,
longer. than
the thing
normal.
is, Trinity kind of spoils it for Dexter by being like, "Oh yeah, this was God's
Yes.
plan for me." Like he wasn't begging for his life or anything.
True.
He
That's-
was just like,
Yeah.
this is what it comes to."
And
I think that's what makes it so frustrating, but in a good way, because
Yeah.
it's like every other person who's been on Dexter's table is usually fearful or like regretful or all this other stuff.
Or they're
Like
trying to talk Dexter out of
Yeah,
it.
trying to
Like,
get out of
"No, I wasn't that bad of a person.
And-
Trinity's the only person who's chill with it, and also I just hate his smug face because he
Well, the
already
Ice Truck
knows.
Killer was kind of chill with it too.
Yeah, that's true. But like he also is kind of trying to talk Dexter out of it too a little bit. Like he's like, "Come on, man, we can do this together." Like it's just let me go. It's cool. And then he's like, "I wish I could."
because
But like I just it's again really impactful, again rewatching it, knowing what's already happened, knowing that the Trinity Killer already knows that he's killed Rita at this point, and he's pretty much
He said like
won.
it's already over.
Yeah, he's already won. Like so, and it makes it more frustrating, especially when he hits the train and he's like, "Can you please do it?" And he does it, and I was just like, "Don't fucking
Yeah,
do
I
it!
was like,
Don't give
fucking
him that,
do it."
you piece of shit! Like, don't."
You should
do
have killed
that.
him with the train.
Yeah, he should have smashed the train. Yeah, and then like smashed his
here's
face
what I was
in.
gonna say though. The reason I like this so much though is, and part of the reason Trinity's so chill about it is, I said I'd get back to this. Like Trinity's like a very religious person. Like Trinity believes that Dexter is actually here like on a mission from God. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Trinity keeps saying like this was always supposed to happen. You were supposed to interact with me and you're supposed to put an end to it. Because like Dexter's interrogating him and he's like, "Did you ever even try to change?" He's like, "Yes, I prayed." And Dexter's like, "Get the fuck out of here. That doesn't mean anything."
Yeah.
He's like,
And
"It's just
Trinity-
waiting for
and then I
something
love
to
that
happen."
line where it's like it worked, didn't it? Like implying that Dexter killing Trinity was like, Dexter, like Trinity at this point accepts his death, right? He's like, Dexter's supposed to kill me. This is how I'm made better, almost. It's like a really sick viewpoint on it. So I really like their last interactions. And I love that scene too where Dexter's like cutting his cheek. Most people are like in pain or like don't understand it. I like that when Dexter cuts Trinity's cheek, Trinity's kind of observing him. And then he has that great comment where he's like, "Look at you. I was never proud of this." Like he instantly knows that that's a trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. which he also has his trophies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
again,
his trophies
he's
say
oblivious to his
you're
own.
a good person instead of Dexter's trophies.
Wow,
I-
do you
I do-
notice? Do you
oh,
notice
fuck.
that there's a shot at the end of this season where Dexter's looking at his family photos and it kind of parallels Arthur's like trophies in a way?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was in the oh god, what episode was that?
The last,
When he,
or the
no. He actually when he first goes to that when he carries he holds a Vera.
Yeah.
That what? Oh god, okay, you guys keep going. Let me go find the episode.
No, but I really like in episode 11. Sorry to go back to that really quick. Speaking of like Trinity admiring his work, I love when he walks through the police station and he sees all of his kills and all the stuff laid out there, and he's just like, hell yeah, like he's just admiring himself.
Well,
like,
I think that kind of goes into
alright.
the
Yeah.
religious thing too.
Oh, it's If I Had a Hammer. That was the episode where he
that's-
looks at the what's
Wrongfully
yeah.
titled "If I
if I had a summer
Summer."
on Amazon, did you guys notice that?
no,
Amazon says it's if I had a summer.
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it's weird.
Anyways,
Amazon's been fucking up.
Amazon sucks.
anyways, do you think that in episode 11, when he's admiring his own work, is that playing to the God thing too, where he's like, well, I guess Stan Beaudry's going down for it. This is what God wants to happen.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean these are just definitely like own religious trophies. Like
He's-
ironically, even though he is supposedly like a servant of God, but he follows paganism with his own trophies. That is a form of paganism within like the realm of Christianity, where you have different objects to worship. You think, even though that's also hypocritical, is in Christianity, in Catholics they use rosemary beads and stuff like that. But it's weird. Religion is a hypocritical thing. I'm a Christian myself, and yeah, I understand the some hypocrisy. So yeah, that he resembles a religious serial killer really well with that level of
Yeah.
Yeah,
hypocrisy.
because there are like legit religious serial killers who do believe they're either agents of God or they just blame all of it. It's just a way of like passing off responsibility. Honestly, It's-
Well,
it's fucked up.
like I said earlier, with him like building the houses and looking like he's basically this really good Christian deacon, I think they said he was.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of him trying to give penance for the horrible things that he does that he has convinced himself are out of his control.
See,
He
I
has
don't think so
those.
because I feel like again in episode 11 when he's admiring his work, he's like, I was never proud of what I did, and it's like bullshit. You are, you were,
Yeah.
you literally just were. You were very proud of your work and
I think he
everything you've
doesn't
done.
like that.
he
he's
doesn't
proud
like
of it.
he doesn't like that side of him.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like
I'm not saying he's a good person.
I'm not saying that either.
He
I'm
also
just saying
puts like a little bit of like Vera and like his other family like bone fragments, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Rachel scene.
he is proud of his work. He is like I think he does enjoy doing it, even though he says he doesn't.
Sorry. Well, one thing going back to him being a good Christian, I really like the road trip because Dexter's like, please, I need you. I need help. Like, you're the only person I can talk to. And you could tell he's like, I should help this guy,
Yeah,
Because
which I
God
thought
rewards
was-
good deeds, Kyle.
Yeah. And I don't know. I
that was a
thought
good
that
lift,
he
Joe.
was genuinely being like trying to be a good person in that moment.
yeah. Even like it's just a lot what he's dealing with. Kyle Butler. Like he brings him into his house on Thanksgiving. He
Yeah.
gives him his tools. He brings him into the home thing. He is in his own fucked up way, being a good person.
Yeah.
And that's just what makes his character so interesting. I don't know, like, it's
But
like he could have very
it
easily just
feels
been like,
like
"Fuck
he's-
off, Kyle."
It feels like he's more so going through the motions of being a good person than actually being a good person.
That's true.
It feels like he's doing all the things that society says make you a good person.
But he's
Providing for your family,
I think it goes.
helping the poor,
Yeah.
building homes for people, helping people who are in need. And he's
Yeah.
looking at that and like, okay, this makes me a good person. I can say I'm a good person. So that evil side of me, no matter what that is, I can still say I'm a good person because look at all these people who think I am.
Yeah, that's true. I think it just feels a little bit more than just saving face.
it is more
Yeah.
than saving face, and also he does. He actually does believe in the whole, like, as he says to Dexter, God rewards good deeds. He's like believes in like a point system, which is one of my favorite lines of the whole like season. Is when Dexter's like, Arthur, you and I are far beyond the point system. But yeah, like he actually, I think like Trinity thinks he's going to heaven, right? Like
Yeah.
Trinity genuinely believes that.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like he also might believe that he's going to hell.
Yeah,
Because
I
he
think
is
it was
one
doesn't
hell.
like
house
the
worth
fact
three
that-
lives.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
like the fact.
I don't think he's going to heaven. I think
Yeah, I don't think theologically he's going to heaven, but I don't know if
Yeah, I don't
he
think God would let
personally
him in.
believes.
Yeah, and
Imagine heaven with this guy, it'd be so
even
fucking
thinks he
weird.
knows that.
You see God, he's like checking off. Well, he did build a house, but he also
Well, he did give advice to Kyle Butler.
Yeah,
It's like,
He killed over
if-
60
If
people.
He
Trinity
broke
was a
his
real
finger.
person and didn't get caught, he would love the good place. Yeah. Let's go. Have you guys seen The Good Place?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I've seen good
Pointless
chunks
thing,
of it. Yeah.
That's what's it called? Oh wait, let's go. And some things we haven't talked about just to wrap it up. We didn't talk about Benny Gomez, the first victim of the season, the one that the thing, and then also the vacation episode where Dex takes a holiday. He chooses
I really like
Officer
that
Zoe
episode.
Kruger. What do you guys think about that?
That's
Let's
a
start
great-
with Zoe Kruger.
That's a great like one and done kind of episode of Dexter, which we get a lot of. That's like one of the best ones. I just really like it. The whole.
It. Sorry, go.
Oddly
It
enough,
does-
they have
does have
weird
one of-
sexual tension. But
They
yeah.
do have weird
It's
sexual
really
tension.
weird. But it does have one of my favorite, just ridiculous lines from the season, which
I know
this.
what you're gonna say.
Yeah, when she's like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna rape me?" After like she brings it up a second time, and he's like, "What is it with you and
You were
rape?"
raped.
Nobody's raping anybody, but killing on the other hand.
Yeah,
She's like the epitome of a bad cop.
yeah. Of course, she's like
Yeah.
she's awful. She's planting evidence, just murdering people and her entire family. She's a monster.
Yeah. All right, let's get into final thoughts. And
I have a
you know,
couple, one
what
thing to
was
say
it?
about the ending really quick about
Okay.
Rita's death. It's great. I think that it is the ultimate, like, it's almost a prophecy that Dexter could see coming. Maybe not in this way, but like, Dexter's always been terrified of, like, one of Dexter's biggest fears is destroying his family, right? Especially in this season. He's terrified of what it'll do. And this is it coming to life. It's obviously there's a huge parallel with Harrison and himself. And I love that. Just that last scene where he sees like what he's done essentially, and he picks up Harrison and he's just like that final monologue of his where he's like I thought I could like change who I am, but I can't. Like this is fate. I don't know, it's great.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the best scenes of the
I'm
series.
Also, can I
I'm
say one
very
thing? Because-
pissed that they killed off Rita though, because
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but this season I actually started like liking her more as a character. It
Really?
seemed like
Really, this is one of her lesser seasons, though.
yeah, but it seemed like she was just so kind of she was so antagonistic towards Dexter in the
Well,
earlier
yeah, he's
seasons.
terrible.
But like this season, it seemed like that kind of calmed down. Like the other seasons,
Well, she does have like a big fight
Yeah.
with him and like
Yeah,
forces
they go
him
to
to go to
couples
therapy
therapy.
and stuff.
Yeah, but-
my heart. Oh,
she's
and
like,
no,
why
after
does
the-
that, like
she's
she's
like-
rational about like dealing with the relationship
and they-
problems.
Yeah, it's
and
completely
and she even,
understandable.
She
you know?
gave him a shed.
Yeah.
Remember, for
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, you didn't want to store the gun there because our kids might find it. That's so noble of you. That's why you kept this apartment." And she's just willing
see,
to buy
she doesn't
that.
No,
believe
no.
that,
She
though.
doesn't though. Like that's part of it too. Is that she's like, you kept the gun here. She's like, okay, that's still not nearly good enough excuse for why you did this. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
obviously something more going on here that you need to tell me. So I think it's like her, like kind of nagging at Dexter. Like it makes complete sense. Like from. It's like if you're a married woman and you find out that your husband has like a secret apartment, that's not
That's really
okay.
bad.
Yeah, that's really fucking bad. So like, yeah, I think that she's
But,
totally
like-
justified in a lot of her frustrations with Dexter, like throughout the show, but like especially this season.
In previous seasons, she was always like skipping to like random stupid conclusions about stuff like,
Yeah.
oh,
Wait, but all-
Dexter's a drug addict.
Wait, all
or,
those
"Oh,
conclusions kind of make sense.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Like,
Like,
she's
from her past
so in love with him. She's
experiences-
not going to be like, wow, he is an amazing superhero, super killer,
Yeah.
where he's able to chop up the bodies and then put it at the specific Bay Harbor. I should have came in that. I'm a blonde woman
I
with a
think
really
that
intelligence.
what she comes up with is reasonable. Like, oh, he's cheating on me. Oh, he's doing this. You wouldn't just cut to he's the fucking Bay Harbor butcher.
I
They
just,
were
I
on
just
a
feel
break.
like
I'm
she
kidding.
didn't progress
No,
at
she
all.
didn't
this,
at all this season.
This season, like
no.
she was all like the first season.
should see her next
first
season.
season, Rita is the best
she's
in my
dead
opinion.
next season.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
You
First,
think
Well,
you think she's gonna be his dark passenger?
Yeah.
honestly, that would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. And then also the Rita thing. Like I get why. Like one of the big satisfaction is that I kind of wanted her to eventually find out. 'Cause I think that would have
Yeah.
been more dramatically
Yeah.
powerful and stuff. But luckily, a better show in the future called Breaking Bad already did that. So I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
you know
I will
what mean?
say, yeah, in terms of how she's suspicious of Dexter and then eventually finds out what's going on. Yeah, Breaking Bad did it a million times
Yes.
more realistically because, like, when he's just like, he's terrible at lying and giving like bullshit excuses and stuff, she's like, all right, like she buys it a little bit at first.
To
and
be
then,
fair,
you know,
it's an easier stretch to find out like your husband's felt like a criminal rather than a monster. You know what I mean?
Wait,
yeah.
but no, he's
I
a
mean,
monster.
but he is a monster.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then
she
she
doesn't
eventually
find out when he's like full.
Walt
monster
kills a
yet.
lot of people.
I know. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah.
I mean, Walt's fucking terrible.
and it's
Walt's a true Walt's one of my favorite villains of all time. But I'm
Yeah.
saying that she discovers him rather early on. He's not like a crazy, insane.
Yeah, because they had a
Yeah.
plan and they
Yeah.
understood details and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They're
Vince
not-
Gilligan's really good.
Also,
Yeah.
I think if like Rita found out like what even happens next, though.
See, that would have been interesting. What happens next? That's the nice
Yeah.
dramatic question you have in writing, and that's how you propel
Yeah,
conflict.
does-
And that's just basic
Dexter might
screenwriting
have to
101.
kill her.
You know
Does
what I mean?
Dexter
Sid Phillips,
start
please.
training
Dexter would
Aster?
never kill Rita.
Yeah, he would never. No.
Yeah.
Does
no,
Dexter
Sid
start
Fields
training
is a
Aster
screenwriting
to
book.
become a serial killer?
That
I think
happens in
that
the
would be
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Let's.
Read the books. Though.
Okay.
You think she's gonna come back as Robo Rita?
That would
Yeah.
make
Season
sense.
8.
Okay.
Dexter
Alternate version.
annihilates.
Final.
Deploying missiles.
Final opinions and thoughts. Let's start it off with Jason.
Oh, overall, I think it was a really good season. It's not my favorite. Season 2 still holds up as the best. And I do have some issues with it, which we discussed, but overall, like, I can't really say it's bad by any means. I would put it on the shelf, like 1 and 2. I wasn't here last week. I would put season 3 streaming, by the way, just so you guys know.
Wait, so season 4 is on the shelf?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say
John Lithgow's great.
as far as the Dexter series goes, this is my favorite so far. In terms of seasons, just because John Lithgow is so amazing.
Well, wait till I get to
Like-
season 6. Yeah.
Like
I can't wait.
You like that season?
I feel like a lot of the seasons are very unemotional, and that has to do with like how Dexter is, but you don't really feel anything as he's going through the motions of investigating killing people, and there isn't as much tension as there is in this season. And in this season, they do a decent job of building up the tension. So I like it. I would say put it on the shelf.
I like it a lot, obviously. I do think the subplots are kind of ridiculous in this season. Even like more so in like worse seasons, like even some of the worst seasons don't have as bad such a subplot problem, which I find odd. But overall, obviously, it's great. Jonathan Lithgow is obviously great. It's good. It has a really good ending. I like the whole theme, and thematically, the ending is like
yeah, him
one-
finding the baby on the board.
yeah, him finding
Yeah.
the baby on the thing, fulfilling the prophecy that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's good. So, museum. I like Dexter too much.
I'll say that this is my favorite season of Dexter. Especially the last half, the second half of the season, and especially the last 3 episodes are some of my favorite episodes of TV. That I love it. It's very, it's compelling. It's exciting. The Trinity Killer is for me definitely the best killer villain in the whole show.
Dude, Little
John
Chino.
Lithgow crushes it. It's like even though it does have its issues, and the first half and episodes here and there aren't the best, and even some like pretty weak episodes, like overall the second half is like it just draws me in so much, and especially on reviewing, like rewatching stuff and knowing what's coming. Like
I would
feel
like to rewatch this.
it,
Season.
it adds a lot more to it, I think, and I'm gonna put it in the museum just for the last half. For sure. It's just so fucking good. I love it. I don't care. No, Philip, but
So
Yeah.
I'm going to set up optometrist appointments for at least Blake and Ron. You know what I mean? Oh gosh. Wow. You know what?
I hate
What's it-
Dexter.
I'm gonna be nicer. I'll address other stuff outside the podcast. But this season, I'll say this: anything with John Lithgow, his performance in the museum.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's fucking fantastic. He's great. Whether it's this Blowout, The Crown, fucking fantastic. That's why I'm also very excited for him. He's gonna whatever in I don't know how like what
Robo
what's gonna
Trinity,
happen.
dude.
Like maybe he's also just like flashbacks or just mental projections
Robo
in New
Trinity.
Blood. But while he was great and while that was
Boy
fantastic,
bathtub.
this show had just absolute shit subplots. Fucking terrible. It's so stretched out, very visually bland, except for like the last couple or 3 episodes. And there's like a lot of things that could have been taken out. Honestly, like even though I really like the Zoe Kruger episode, that could have been taken out. The remains to be seen episode with the mutilated corpse, that could be taken out. Blinded by the light, someone vandalizing the neighborhood, that could have been shortened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's like 3 or 4 episodes that could have
Is
been
that your
taken
favorite
out.
lines of the whole series in that episode?
Oh yeah. It's when Dexter's like cleaning off his fence, and his neighbor like comes over, and like his voiceover narration is just like.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of my favorite lines that episode and in the show is when he's like, oh, there goes that kid, whatever, and he's like suiting up, and he's like, I'm gonna go scare the shit out of him.
Yeah, I remember
It's
that.
like, why, Dexter? Do you really? Is this really worth the risk
I'm
of like
sorry.
turns
No,
out to
it's
scare the
not.
shit out of some kid?
Yeah.
I do like Dexter running from like them and just being like, "This is humiliating."
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, that could have just been like one scene in some other episode, but a whole episode dedicated to that. Yeah, there's like at least 3 episodes they took out. If you take out all the subplots, this had enough amazing story for like a solid 8-episode,
Yeah.
like 8-episode season.
I agree.
And if it was 8 episodes, honestly, and then with better directors, or maybe S.J. Clarkson directed all the episodes, fuck yes, this would have been. This had the potential to be in the museum.
Is this beyond the museum?
But-
Is that what you were saying?
But with all the shit that I mentioned, literally 3 episodes feels like contractually obligated. 12 episodes, character inconsistency, lack of details, shitty subplots, and all that. This is gonna be just right above the bargain bin because I like it better than season 3. It's streaming with ads. Yeah,
You suck.
yeah. I mean, I just watch better television, you guys. But you know,
Hey, instead of streaming it with ads, can we just change it to like like free streaming and like premium streaming?
streaming ads is free streaming usually.
I will say,
It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, yeah,
no, it does.
I would-
No, streaming with ads is a more
Okay.
insult. That means you really don't like the show. That you're okay with.
It
ad
means
interruptions.
you're not willing to pay to watch it.
yeah.
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 So streaming with ads.
All
I'm
right.
sorry for slamming.
Thanks
the table.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So let's go. We'll add that in. This,
There were
more effects.
museums and the streaming with
Yeah,
ads.
it's
Yeah.
just
on
this
the
such a
show.
great season for me.
I
It's like
feel
the,
so bad
the
for you guys
season
for just-
finale. It's like it brings me to tears every time. It's just like, oh God, it just hurts so much, especially seeing someone like Rito, who's such like a
So
pure
nice.
ray of light. Yeah, it's like it's the last
She's
thing you
angelic.
ever want to
was,
watch.
I
her.
was literally yelling at the screen. Come on, what the fuck? Why'd you do this?
Yeah,
like
and
when I saw that,
I think
was
even like the
yeah.
art direction of the bathroom
Oh, it looks
that's being
great.
choiced,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, the
I think
bathroom
that
stuff
shows
as well.
good planning and like you know, going ahead of time. Like it's well like it's
Oh,
perfect
that one's
for the
a
reveal.
Steve Schill, I think, directed the final. He directed
Great.
some of the pretty good episodes. Like the best directors of these series are Marcos Sega, even though I didn't really like episodes 1 and 3, but he did a good job there. And then S.J. Clarkson, Steve Schill, those are probably the best. Keith Gordon's solid too. He did 5 and 10. I think he did the Lost Boys episode.
Oh
Yeah. So those are the
Great
usuals and shit. John Dahl, fuck you. And yeah, that's it.
Can you imagine if they'd killed the kids instead?
All right, guys. So, what did you think of season 4 of Dexter? Is it your favorite season? Is it in the bargain bin? Is it in the museum? Let
Come
us
on
know.
down to Ron's Emporium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on down.
or is it in the shit
let
bucket
us know.
because you don't like?
Yeah. Are you a cold-hearted, terrible person?
Like Philip.
I mean, have you guys just seen like good enough, like actual TV junkies out there? Put down something there.
I love Dexter.
Okay,
I only
Thank
watch
you.
premium television.
Merry Christmas.
It's just called like watching good shit. You know what I
You
mean?
have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not even December.
Who cares?
Whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Happy Halloween,
Happy
everybody.
Halloween. Watch better shows,
Happy-
please.
Happy
Bye. Bye.
Subscribe today. Merry Christmas.
Like and subscribe, comment, let us know. I love you.
Don't trust Blake.